Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my favorite types of TV shows, sitcoms. So sitcoms are defined as a television series in which the same set of characters are involved in various amusing situations. So over the years, I have been able to watch many different sitcoms, and these shows always end up being on my comfort watch list because they really do know how to make me feel warm and good after a long day of work and school. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of go over a couple of popular sitcoms and go into what your favorite sitcom might say about you. Also, please note that this video is meant to be lighthearted and fun, so please try not to take any of these to heart. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, I have one about what your favorite romantic trope says about you, so definitely go check that out after watching this video. And if you want even more, just let me know in the comments below. Alright, let's get into it. If The Office is your favorite sitcom, you're someone who thrives on routine and simplicity. You find comfort in predictability, and you don't just rewatch it for laughs. You rewatch the show because it kind of feels like a second home where everything is in the same place, the people have the same vibes and routines, and everything is just as it should be. Psychologists call this nostalgia-based coping. When life feels uncertain, we gravitate towards familiar stories that kind of help us regain emotional balance. So The Office works perfectly for that because it mirrors the everyday life, but also adds an element of absurdity to it. It's chaos, but it's a safe sort of chaos, where we know that Michael might ruin a meeting, Dwight might do something to put the office into a craze, and Jim will play a prank, as always. But by the end of every episode, everything sort of resets, and there's structure beneath the dysfunction in each episode, something our brains find deeply comforting. Michael Scott's antics might make you cringe at times, but they also kind of activate what psychologists call benign violation theory, the idea that we laugh when something feels wrong but harmless. His jokes toe that line constantly, and you feel secondhand embarrassment, but it's safe enough that you can laugh through it. A kind of emotional release, if you want to think of it like that. If you love The Office, chances are you use humor as a coping mechanism. You make jokes to diffuse tension, to connect with others, or to mask discomfort instead of confronting conflict directly, which I think I am guilty of sometimes, but it's mostly about processing difficult situations with laughter, a subtle form of avoidant coping that still gives you relief. At the core, I really think The Office fans kind of crave belonging, and the show's emotional core, with all the characters, the routines, and the running gags, all point toward a community built on imperfection. You don't need people to be perfect to love them. Now, The Office, though not my favorite sitcom, does hold a special place in my heart because it was the first sitcom I ever watched and really introduced me to the genre, and because of its popularity, I think it is just a classic sitcom that everyone needs to experience once in their lifetime. If Parks and Recreation is your favorite sitcom, you're an optimistic realist. You are someone who genuinely believes that goodness can exist even in flawed systems. You don't love the show just because it's funny, but you love it because it sort of ignites hope. It's a reminder that kindness and community actually can matter in a world where I think we're kind of losing these types of ideas with the over-pushing of self-care and the loneliness epidemic that is thriving in our society. Psychologically, if you're a fan of the show, I think you may be high in pro-social motivation, the internal drive to act in ways that benefit others, not exactly because you expect anything back from them, but because contribution itself feels meaningful and like a reward to you. Personally, every time I watch Leslie Knope make a speech or move forward in her career and just like make the smallest of changes in a positive direction for Pawnee, I felt so hopeful because really deep down, as fans of the show, I think we want to believe that passion and integrity can change things even if it only seems small at the beginning. Parks and Rec thrives on the idea of collective efficacy. The idea or the belief that people working together can make a difference. If you love this show, I'm going to say something that I will probably repeat throughout this video, but it echoes the simple psychological truth about humans. Humans are wired for connection, and that's why we enjoy watching shows where connection is the basis of the entire show. I noted that The Office is comfort through familiarity, but I think Parks and Rec is a bit different because it's comfort through hope. And you watch it as a reminder that trying, even when it seems like all the odds are stacked against you, is really still worth it. If you are a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, then you are someone who thrives on balance, which may seem kind of odd for a show as chaotic as this, but hear me out. You do crave energy and excitement, but you also need heart and stability. You love stories where the world is a little messy, but the people in it are deeply loyal. You'll probably watch this show because it's comforting to see chaos contained by the care and effort put into the people around it. Even when the precinct is falling apart, everyone's showing up and everyone's working to make it better. From a psychological lens, Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans often value secure attachment. You appreciate relationships built on mutual respect, open communication, and emotional support, even when things get hectic. And the show's found family dynamic speaks to that. I mean, none of the people in the show are exactly perfect, even though they are very lovable, but they're also dependable. No matter how impulsive Jake is, or how anxious Amy gets, or how many walls Rosa puts up, they all represent different coping mechanisms, but what keeps them together is their consistency and unwillingness to give up on each other. There is also something really important in the way Brooklyn Nine-Nine treats growth. The characters don't just become better detectives, they become better people. They learn how to apologize and make space for vulnerability and important topics throughout the course of the show. And I really think if you love this show, you probably do value emotional maturity as well as personal evolution. If Community is your favorite show, first of all, I think you're really cool. And second of all, you are all about chosen family. At its heart, Community is a show about that. It's a group of essentially misfits from wildly different backgrounds who find this connection in a place where no one really expected it. Psychologically, that resonates with anyone who's experienced social identity uncertainty, the feeling of not knowing where you belong. And Greendale kind of becomes a metaphor for that search, a place where failure, weirdness, and reinvention has a place and is not only allowed but celebrated. If you love this show, you probably value authenticity over polish. You don't care if people are messy as long as they are real and honest with you. And you understand that everyone is just figuring things out. People have that ability to grow, and even if they don't change completely, they are on their own journeys. You may relate to Jeff's struggle with vulnerability, Ovid's self-awareness, or Annie's need for control. But more importantly, you love how they all learn to love each other anyways. From a psychological perspective, Community beautifully captures group cohesion, the psychological bond that forms when people with different goals unite under shared meaning. If Friends is your favorite sitcom, you're probably someone who finds comfort in consistency. And you're the kind of person who replays episodes not because they have very iconic jokes, but for the feeling of being surrounded by people who know you. You value warmth, familiarity, and nostalgia, and personally, I really think you're the type of person to romanticize the good old days, and you probably have a strong love for anything that people may consider retro, including, but not limited to, record players, digital cameras, and flip phones. Also, side tangent, or just a fun fact, in 8th grade, during middle school, I had a flip phone. And also, I'm a young person. I don't want to say my age, but I'm pretty young, so everyone around me has smartphones. And my parents gave me a flip phone because they didn't want me having a smartphone at a young age. Anyways, getting back to what we were saying, from a psychological perspective, Friends speaks directly to our need for belonging, one of the most fundamental components of human motivation. You're drawn to shows that reinforce stability and connection. Stories where the relationships themselves kind of drive the plot. And watching Friends feels like coming home because it mirrors how we anchor our identities into our social bonds. Now, I think you may lean towards secure attachment. You find joy in relationships that are steady, reciprocal, and emotionally open. Or if you're someone who's experienced instability in relationships, Friends may be a sort of safe fantasy, and it offers a world where friendship never really fades, and where people make mistakes, but they will always circle back to love. It's a comforting vision of connection, and no matter what, it has this idea that if everything falls apart, we will still show up for each other. You're also likely someone with a sentimental humor style. You love comedy that's warm, human, and built on heart, so essentially inside jokes. You probably believe that love and friendship can coexist, and yes, you absolutely have to have a strong opinion on whether Ross and Rachel were on a break. Personally, whether or not they were on a break, you can debate that as much as you want. I still think Ross was 100% in the wrong, and Rachel was more than justified in breaking up with him. If you are a How I Met Your Mother fan, then similarly to Friends, you're a very nostalgic person. But unlike Friends, you're not just nostalgic for the past, but for possibility. You love stories about love, even when they don't end perfectly, because deep down you understand that perfection was never the point. Psychologically, How I Met Your Mother fans are often drawn to the pull of idealism versus realism, the tension between wanting to believe in the one and knowing that life doesn't always work out like a storybook. You probably have a secure but idealistic attachment style. You believe in love, commitment, and connection, but you're also familiar with the consequences of heartbreak. And you've been disappointed enough times to develop a light layer of emotional armor. Yet you haven't given up on the hope that something beautiful and something as divine as love at first sight could happen. The show mirrors that inner contradiction perfectly. Ted's endless search for meaning and romance isn't just a simple plotline, it's a psychological portrait of someone who has, a high narrative identity, the need to make sense of life as a coherent story. If you love How I Met Your Mother, you're probably trying to do this too. You will replay memories, analyze conversations, or wonder if the universe is really trying to tell you something in the smallest of ways. At its core, How I Met Your Mother is about delayed gratification and emotional endurance. If the show feels like home to you, it's because you too see love as both a lesson and a destination. You've been let down, sure, but you'll always keep searching for it. Also, side note, but I had someone comment in a video about me analyzing Ted and Robin's relationship, so if anyone else is interested in that type of video, please let me know because I am very interested in covering that. Alright, this is the final sitcom I'm going to talk about today, but if Abbott Elementary is your favorite sitcom, you're the kind of person who believes that doing good is very important, and it still matters even when the world makes it hard. You're grounded, practical, and still you're idealistic. You find beauty in small victories, and through this, I can see a similarity to Parks and Rec, and I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan, so I think Abbott Elementary kind of carries the core ideas that Parks and Rec introduced, and it sort of amplifies it into something just so much better. What makes Abbott Elementary stand apart from other sitcoms really is how it represents culture and diversity organically. It doesn't feel like it's performative or that the diversity is there for a moral lecture to the viewers. It simply reflects what real communities in the US look like. And the show doesn't sugarcoat systematic problems, especially in public education. It acknowledges underfunded schools, burnt-out teachers, and institutional neglect, but still manages to center joy and humor at the core of the show. That's what makes it, I guess, revolutionary to me, because it treats everyday people, especially teachers, as heroes, not because they're perfect, but because they show up no matter what. From a psychological lens, Abbott Elementary is a study in collective resilience and empathetic realism. Collective resilience refers to how communities endure adversity together through shared identity and mutual support, something that the Abbott Elementary teachers just embody on the daily. And empathetic realism is about recognizing pain without becoming defined by it, and the show really validates struggle, but never lets it eclipse humanity and growth. I also think if you're a fan of the show, you probably score high in emotional intelligence and communal orientation. You're motivated by connection, lifting others up, and believing that small acts matter. If you love Abbott Elementary, you're likely endlessly compassionate, and you believe the heroism of ordinary people is what truly makes a difference in this world. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I absolutely love sitcoms, and if you made it this far into my video, I'm guessing you do too. So please let me know, did I get any of the assumptions about you right, and did you feel at all called out? Let me know this and all your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Okay, thank you so much for sticking with me. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and everything to see more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!